Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
This is the Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
92.1 City, Winnipeg's rock station. Good morning. It's Thursday with Philly Joe and Kirby.
Yeah, looking forward to Throwdown Thursday in just over an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what we've got on tap today.
That'll be guaranteed fun.
Yeah.
Guaranteed laughs, guaranteed fun.
Always is.
All morning here with PJK. Also, tickets to go see Bush at 7:45 with completely useless trivia.
Yeah, Colin James tickets for Throwdown Thursday, too. That'll be online.
Some news we don't want to hear, Joe. I'm sure a lot of people get the notification. Is one of those storm? Is it a watch or a warning?
Yeah, they're calling it a watch right now, and it starts pretty much overnight tonight and will continue tomorrow. So if you're in central to northern Manitoba, places like Flin Flon, the Paw, all the way up to places like Oxford House, they're expecting 15 to 25 centimeters tomorrow of snow. The winter storm watch is basically an Alberta clipper coming our way. It'll reduce visibility, and that'll be likely with snow and blowing snow. Here in the city, we're looking at a little bit of snow, but more of that blowing snow and visibility issues. So the watch is all about travel, too, tomorrow, right? So
crazy wind.
And how cold it's going to get.
Crazy wind coming, yeah.
Yeah, that wind's going to gust to about 80 in some spots.
I get confused between a watch and a warning, Joe.
Yeah, so do I. I just go with the notes they give us.
Well, I think a watch is just like a heads up, and a warning is like it's happening.
Yeah, warning is imminent, more dangerous. Yes. Like it's than the actual warning. And
I prefer when they break it down like this, though, too, because before it was like a blanket statement. You get like a winter storm watch, and like everybody would be buzzing around going, what's going to happen? But yet,
cancel school.
Well, the city is going to get next to nothing compared to what central to northern Manitoba could get tomorrow, right? So, yeah, the winds are going to be bad enough today, gusting to 50. Tomorrow, they're going to be gusting anywhere from, I guess, up to 80, I'm reading.
Okay.
So,
well, Joe will be on the highways, on the streets, reporting live over the next 24 hours.
That's all I do.
Yeah, the
Gas
weather,
up.
he never sleeps.
You stay warm out there, Joe.
Oh, yeah, don't worry about me. I'm not the one in this group that comes in heels to work.
That
without,
is true. That is true.
No, you have started dressing a little bit more winter ready lately. I have noticed. There's more toques in your wardrobe, less sundresses. So it took a little while, but you seem to be figuring out this winter thing.
Yeah, it takes usually the first 2 to 3 months of winter for me to get into it.
Yeah,
you know?
and perfect, because now you're getting into January. It's good.
Philly Joe Kirby.
Philly Joe and Kirby
podcast.
The Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
Listen, I don't even remember how this became a discussion last week involving swingers. Something came up. I think it had to do with garages and the cold and somebody leaving their garage door half open. And, people mistaking that, because Kirby brought that up once. That was a sign for
Yeah,
swingers.
but I think I had another signal.
It was like back in the day on this show, we talked about the upside down pineapples and then the garage half open. And then there was something else last week that you said is a signal for swingers.
Well, we like to keep updated on what the signals are.
It's an important part of, life.
Well, for some people,
for
it is.
For some people, sure, it's a lifestyle.
Oh, yeah, I think I told you guys about a unicorn. Like that the unicorn means that, like, you're a single girl looking for a couple that swings.
Honestly, I just can't remember. My brain isn't...
But it came up.
It came
up again.
And someone on the Boston Pizza text line texted us, another sign is apparently the color of your loofah.
What?
I don't know how a swinger is going to find the color of your loofah unless they were invited to a house party and use the bathroom.
Well, you'd be lurching around in their bathroom, right? Opening up their shower curtain.
Do you carry it around on your wrist? Do you just, like, walk around with a loofah?
Well, who knows? Maybe people do that at parties. I don't know.
You never know when you're going to
I haven't been to a
one.
swinger party. Yes. But I can tell you that this person sent the detailed list of what color loofah represents what type of swinger, apparently.
Oh.
So if you're carrying around a white loofah or have one, It means you're a novice and a beginner, okay?
Just getting
You
in.
got to start somewhere.
Just getting into the lifestyle. Okay.
It's called the Welcome Guide to the Loofa Code, is what they sent me. And this is in Florida.
Oh,
okay?
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's going on in
Yeah.
Florida at one of these places called the Villages, Phil.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so white loofah means novices and beginners. Purple, voyeur and people who like to watch, if you're carrying the purple loofah around. Mm-hmm. The pink loofah represents soft swap, people who like to do it with others in the room. They call it a soft
I
swap.
was going to say that is hilarious.
Yeah. The blue, lowest level of full swap. It's the lowest level. This full swap thing has levels. Those who can play well with others. Okay?
That's
Okay.
blue?
That's blue.
Yeah.
That might be a lot going on for some people. So you don't want the blue loofah.
Busy.
Yellow loofah, mid-level swap for those who want to have fun but are still nervous. So it's more of a temperature check, right? You know what I mean?
Oh, boy.
The black loofah, full swap. Those who say, what the hell, let it all go down.
Yeah.
They're open for anything, I guess, with the black loofah. And then there is the teal loofah, which some guys would get confused with the blue loofah and the teal loofah.
That could be very confusing for a lot of guys.
And teal is basically for bisexual people, for those who want to increase their dating chances. You're playing the numbers with the teal loofah. So I guess we're going in with white anyway. I would be, if I'm even carrying a loofah.
And what's the white again? Sorry, refresh my
That's
memory.
the novices, beginners.
Just getting started.
Yeah.
What if somebody, like, I'm just asking for a friend. What if somebody wants to have multiple loofahs?
Well, you can bring the rainbow in, I guess, but it's going to be like a multi-personality disorder of some sort,
Well,
isn't it?
no, I mean, what if I am like, what if
You
somebody
dabble in
wants
a lot
to
of
wear
loofahs.
the purple and maybe they're down for the black as well? I
I'm
don't know.
going to need a guide map
Well,
when you
hold
go
on.
into your shower. Like, okay, she's got purple, blue, and white in here. What am I?
If you're wearing the purple, you're a voyeur who likes to watch.
Yeah,
Okay. And
okay.
then you're in for the full swap. So what are you going to do? You watching or you taking part? Because this is somebody who lets it all go down.
Sometimes you just got to be on the sidelines before you decide to join the game.
Well, you get to your favorite Dollarama, buy as many loofahs as you want, and knock your boots off. I don't care.
Like, I don't know about this whole swinger thing because I've had the garage half open plenty of times and nobody wanders in there. So I don't
well,
know
you
what's
have
going
to
on.
have a couple that you swing with already. It's not like people drive around
Oh.
looking for like a garage that's half open.
That's not how it. I thought it was just you leave it
It's
half
not like
open.
a bat signal that just like brings all of the swingers to your neighborhood.
How about the pineapple?
Yeah, I've got
that
a pineapple
that
shirt.
one's good for the grocery store if you want to put it upside down in the cart.
Maybe dangle a few loofahs off of the lights on the garage, on the
Oh,
driveway.
Now we're getting
Or
into
off
this.
your, off your vehicle antenna.
The Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
Philly Joe and Kirby's
Weigh in 92.1 City Facebook page or on the Boston Pizza text line. Just for weighing in today, qualified for Colin James tickets.
This is going to be one of the toughest battles we've discussed on Throwdown Thursday, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, because fans of this band are passionate. We've already had a couple of comments on the Facebook page. It's like I can't choose both. It's Van Halen here, Van Halen week here at 92.1 City Spotlight Band. So we decided to go David Lee Roth versus Sammy Hagar. We're leaving Gary Cherone out of the mix. It's not a triple threat match due to the lack of votes that Gary Cherone would get. That just didn't work.
Right.
So Hagar versus DLR. I'll go first. I love them both. So, but if I had to pick, I'm way more prone to crank the David Lee Roth stuff. Like if I'm driving around in my truck. Isn't to say that I don't really enjoy the Hagar stuff, but I have to pick. It's got to be David Lee Roth Van Halen.
I can't argue that.
Yeah, I don't think you can argue either way, though.
You were singing away to that song.
I do
I'll
love
say
that
this.
song.
If I had to help you decide, Kirby, the first Van Halen song we played, Pretty Woman, Intruder version there, you were not belting it out, but we went into the Hagar Van Halen, and you were singing it loud and proud.
Sammy's got those vocals for me, man. I'm all about the voice, and I mean, he's a wonderful songwriter. And not that I'm not a fan of what David Lee Roth can do with his vocals, because man, he can hit some high notes. But I got to go with Sammy Hagar.
Oh, you're that okay? Yeah.
Plus his hair, man. His hair was always
He's got the
cool.
good hair. Yes, he does.
Can't argue with that either.
Very different feeling. You know, the two different Van Halens.
So Van Halen's one of my favorite bands of all time. I still remember that debut album, 1978, and hearing stuff like You Really Got Me, the Kinks cover, and then, of course, Eruption, the instrumental, and Eddie just pounding it out on guitar. But Ain't Talking About Love, Running with the Devil, all those songs, just absolutely tremendous. And I had a chance to meet the Sammy Hagar version in Wembley Stadium, which was pretty emotional, like meeting these guys backstage. So that has a part of my history. But I got to go back to that debut album. Dance the Night Away is still one of my favorite songs of all time. And I'm going to go with the David Lee Roth version by a smidge.
Okay.
Just because of, that year. 1978 was a big year. 92 One City, too, right? So
Was it's very apparent that they were so when David Lee Roth was the front man, it was just a more fun rock than when Hagar was like some more serious songs and videos. That's fair to say.
go ahead, Curbs.
I was just going to say he was just a little bit more like sophisticated, I think.
A little deeper.
Yeah.
Hagar than David. Although, hey, Hagar loved to party too, right? Like,
I think it was a different level of party. I mean, there's David Lee Roth could walk out there with his bare ass and a pair of chaps, and he was more flamboyant on stage. And Sammy was just like a classic rocker.
Yeah.
Like he just got up there, and there was a little bit more grit to him as a performer, I thought. And I'll tell you, when they made the change, people were wondering, like, is this really going to work? Like, everybody loved Bad Motor Scooter and what he was doing with Montrose, but it was like, man, he fit like a glove in a whole different way.
Throwdown Thursday. Let us know what you think. You could win yourself Colin James tickets. It's Van Halen for Throwdown Thursday. Hagar versus DLR.
This is the Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
So I walk into the house yesterday, and my wife's on a phone call with Scotiabank, or at least that's what she thought. So when I walk in, she's like, "Hey, we got scammed again. I'm on the phone with Scotiabank about our credit cards." And I'm like, "Oh, are you serious?" So I just, I went on about what I was doing in the house, and I could overhear her on the phone. And she's like, "Well, I need my credit card this weekend. Like, what can we do here?" Because she's going to Minneapolis with my youngest son. There's a hockey trip involved, and she's like, "I have to have my credit card this weekend. Like, what's the story here? How come? Like, what's the scam? Can you explain it to me?" And so this conversation went on. I bet you for about close to a half an hour, and then I hear her say, "Well, I'm not going to give you my credit card number. You're the bank. You called me," and she's like, I could hear her arguing with him. "Well, no, I'm not giving you my number." Like, she just kept saying, "You're the bank. Why would I? Apparently you have my file open there. Why would I give you my number?"
So at the beginning of that call, did she have to give her information?
No, they called her. They said, "Hi, Stacey Aubrey.
Scamola.
You've been scammed. We have to cancel your credit cards. Yada yada yada." It goes on and on. She asked to speak to the manager, his supervisor. At the point where he asked for the credit card number, she's like, I'm going to need to speak to your supervisor.
And then he hung up?
No, not yet. And then she just kept arguing with him, and he's like, "We have all your information right in front of us. We just need to go over da-da-ba-da-ba-da." And finally...
Did this person give the information to you at all?
No.
Wow.
Right, but it's
scam's gone.
Why wouldn't they confirm your own information with you?
She said, and the guy on the phone goes, "It said right on your call display, Scotiabank. This is Scotiabank." And she said, "Yeah, that scammers do that all the time. What are you talking about? You don't need my credit card number." And then he hung up.
Yeah.
And so she called the bank. I think she said to him in there at some point, "I'm just going to let you go and call the bank and confirm this because I'm not, And she calls the bank, and it was never Scotiabank. Our credit cards were not compromised yesterday.
Right.
Isn't that insane?
Sneaky.
Well, they've got it down to a science, a lot of these scammers, right? But the question for me would have been, as soon as they asked for the credit card, so your wife was obviously right on top of that. But then when they give you we have your information, great. What is my information?
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing what they come up with, though, like
But she said
info-wise.
that is the most official sounding scam call she's ever had. Like the
Oh
guy
yeah, these
sounded.
people are pretty like.
That's all they do.
Yeah, and I'm sure they learn as they go that like there's certain ways
Yep.
to
Improv
and get people swindle people into certain situations where they give them the information.
How about the dude here that just got scammed like out of his whole retirement savings last year, and he's trying to get some of that money back, but to the point where the company, this financial institution that he was going to be dealing with, he sent the money to Toronto, if you remember, and he looked up the company. They had a full website and everything else. So could you imagine, like, it's obviously, wow.
And you nailed it, Kirby, when you said they know exactly, they've emulated what a bank phone call sounds like to a T, because it sounded exactly like what we had it done to us, actually, and they sounded the exact same.
You know what's funny, though? I always recall when I've had my credit card compromised, I get an email from the bank. And even that I thought was a scam before I'd ever take a phone call, if that makes any sense.
I just don't answer emails or phone calls.
That's the key to life.
Honestly,
you know what, though? She might be onto something.
I am telling you, I don't answer. And honestly, unless your name is in my contacts, I'm not answering the phone. You're not that important.
Well, even then you don't answer. Yeah, you need a text to warn you.
And then I'll usually say, yo, what's up?
Yeah.
Why are you calling me?
Yeah, yo,
bro.
Yo, what's up, bro? All of a sudden, I don't know who I'm talking to.
See, no one's gonna scam me.
That's it. No, you're good.
Philly Joe Kirby.
Philly Joe and Kirby
Podcast.
The Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
Philly Joe and Kirby's completely useless question.
Useless with a capital Y.
So useless.
Brought to you by Midtown Ford.
Bush coming to Winnipeg with rival Suns and Filter. Great lineup. Win your tickets right now. 780 City, 780-2484. Joe has the question.
Pretty simple one, I think. The average woman owns 7 of these. The average woman owns 7 of these.
All right.
7 of what?
Good morning, City. Go ahead with your guess.
Shoes.
No, I think that number's low, probably.
I would say more than
That's
7.
how many shoes I already got packed for my trip to Cuba next week.
A pair a day. Wow. I can hardly wait to find out what that suitcase is going to weigh.
It's a trunk, not a suitcase. Looks like she's moving. Hi, City.
Hi. Is it purses?
Purses is number 3.
Good guess.
That's a decent amount, yeah.
780 City, 780-2484 for Bush tickets. Go ahead.
Is it underwear or bra?
No undergarments on the list.
I think more than that, right? Probably.
For underwear, for sure. Bras, not so much, because some bras are very expensive.
Okay.
Like some women who have to get custom-made bras will pay around like $200-$300 for a bra, even more.
Woo, $300.
So you have like maybe like I would say 7 is a decent amount of bras.
It's a good price right there. Hi, City. 780 City, 780-2484. Good morning.
Kirby, what do you think?
Curbs?
I'm thinking sunglasses.
No.
Oh.
7 pairs of sunglasses.
Jackie
Wow.
Onassis.
That's how many I'm bringing to Cuba too. I bring
Well,
something for
this,
each day of the week.
I was going to say, what are you, performing? Like,
Is this halftime at the Super Bowl?
well, like, holy cow, how many suitcases can one person bring? You're only allowed one carry-on too, aren't you?
A suitcase just for sunglasses. Hello.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm going to guess beverage receptacle.
No, nothing to do with the water or the Yetis or that kind of stuff. That's a good answer.
That
though.
is a good answer. I
Very
know a
good.
lot of people that collect those.
Hockey trips, man. The Yetis are everywhere.
Sure.
Good morning, City.
Hi. Is it nail polish?
Not nail polish, no.
Good guess.
Very good.
Yeah.
Right there.
780 City, 780-2484. Good morning.
I'm going to go with fragrances. Perfumes.
Well, that is a good, very good guess, my friend. Perfumes, fragrances. The average woman owns 7 different fragrances. Kirby, can you confirm, deny?
Yeah, that's very average. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we got like a couple perfumes, maybe a body spray.
Oh, you
You won, my friend. Yes. Pants was on the list. 7 pairs of pants on average. Purses was number 3. Books and plants, believe it or not.
Oh, I just got into plants.
Yeah, good.
But Phil, you one year for my birthday, early on when we were doing a show, you had gifted me. Well, I don't think it was you. I think it was your wife. But you'd brought me in a basket of body sprays.
Of course I did. I remember.
I thought that was so
What do
nice
you
because
mean?
you even got some sparkly ones in there too.
What do you mean? Why did Stacy have to have something to do with that? What's wrong with this
Well,
man right here?
I remember shopping for hours before I found that.
Actually put the basket together. Went to different stores to buy the fragrances in a basket from Dollarama with the wrapping paper.
Tissue paper, wrapping paper
And
everywhere.
then it all went downhill from there.
The Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
And what makes us sexy? The amount of loofahs that we have, because we did get a message from the butcher with a good sale on loofahs. Where was this from? $2 loofahs and all kinds of colors.
In a bin.
In a bin.
The bin is the start.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a they call it a bargain bin. You can't really have a sale without some stuff in a bin.
Yeah,
is
that
that
looks
true?
good. And
Remember the old movie store days?
Mm-hmm.
You could find the bargain bin of movies. How about hats? Go to a sporting goods store, and once in a while you'll see a bargain in a bin of hats. Got to have a bin.
I love the bin. And, of course, that comes from a conversation earlier this morning about you can tell what type of swinger someone is by the kind of loofah they've got hanging in their shower.
We should open up a store, like a PJK discount store called Been There, Bought That.
Okay.
Is that good?
Can you just handle your retirement home and your hot dog stand first and then roll into the bargain bin business? Because I'm telling you, you and your business ideas over there, Joe.
The ideas
Is that so bad?
just
Been there,
flow
bought
out
that.
of you.
Just in the store's just full of bins with discounted items.
Bins everywhere.
I mean, that sounds like a great idea.
And now this leads into a topic that just came up off air about Winnipeg being voted one of the sexiest in Canada.
Well, Kirby and I both saw this online. It started yesterday going viral. And hey, listen, you've seen the survey before, Phil. It's a company called Pink Cherry, okay? They're an online store.
I mean, sorry, I was going to say that's where I've heard my friends order things from.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's an online store for adults.
Mm-hmm.
And so, Winnipeg was ranked as a consumer. They basically look at the behavior of buyers from last year, right up until the end of the year. And apparently, here in Manitoba, we have moved from 8th place in 2022 to 5th place in 2024. So there's quite the growing interest in foot massagers
Sex toys.
Whatever it takes.
Interesting.
Okay. I mean, that's healthy. Good for Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Do you remember the last trip I took to Cuba and I told this story about how I got it, like one of my
Toys.
got stuck in the the side drawer, the nightstand in my hotel room, and then I had to call the maintenance person to come up and wedge it open, and they were so excited that they got the drawer open that they grabbed it, and then they realized what it was.
What else could it have been? A flashlight?
I mean, it could have been anything. You could put a lot of things in a bedside table.
Yeah. No, 100%.
I'm telling you what, I'm not bringing this year.
A deflated blow-up doll? You can fit that in there.
Yeah.
I think a blow-up doll would be more embarrassing, like if that got somehow...
There could be a lot of different embarrassing items that could have been in that drawer.
I thought most people would just keep that stuff in their suitcase and use it or grab it when they needed it, not put it in the drawer. You know what I'm saying?
I like to unpack when I get to the room.
I
I live there.
I'm not using that drawer for anything. Like
just for the Bible?
The Bible.
That's not a motel. That's what you find in a motel.
I'm not typically unloading my stuff and okay, I'll hang a couple shirts.
Yes.
But I'm not looking for things in my suitcase to put in the drawers.
Yes.
You're not going to put your
and certainly,
phone charger?
No, not in the drawer.
No,
No,
just plugged in.
And certainly not that type of item in the drawer.
Well, it's in my drawer at home, so why wouldn't I put it in the drawer in the hotel room?
That's right. Make yourself feel at home.
It's accessible.
Absolutely. Because God knows you couldn't get up 3 feet and walk to the suitcase.
This is the Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
Okay, a complaint, a concern from a snowmobiler.
Hey, PJ Part of Charleswood calling. Got a problem here, man. I just watched a video of a bunch of out with their side-by-sides, whatever they want to call those POSs, ripping up the snowman trail out by the 59er on Highway 59 just before Birds Hill Park. I got news for these morons. I'm paying $150 per sled to ride on those trails, and those jackasses go out there and rip up the trails. We were planning on going up to the 59er because it's a great place to hang out, and can't go because the trail's closed because these jackasses on their side-by-sides think they own the damn world. Stay off the snowman trails if you don't have a snowman pass.
Yeah, I mean, clearly it's upsetting to him. I don't do a lot of snowmobiling, so I can't speak to the topic, but everybody's allowed their concern on the bone phone.
What's the 59er? He said it's a cool place to hang out. I want to hang out there.
Yeah, you do.
Is it a club?
You don't have a snow pass, but you can still go.
I don't think it's a dance club for snowmobilers.
Oh, it's a restaurant.
I believe so, yeah.
Okay,
it's a club.
Yeah. And how do you get there? By snowmobile. The only way. It's exclusive.
Sounds cool.
Is it a club?
Boy, how long have you lived here in this town?
Well, I haven't really learned about the outside of the city yet. I've just got the inside.
We're going to a club tonight. Get your snowmobile gear on.
Well, wait. I got to bring my 7 pairs of shoes that I'm bringing.
Well, I would have to bring something to change into out of the snow gear.
Absolutely. Yeah, you'd have to for dinner.
I'm going in to
bring
change.
a suitcase.
Okay, Vinny checking back in. Been a minute.
I was going to talk about the Jets, but I'm going to save that for another time. Now, I just want to request a future banger. Remember, this is a future banger. I don't expect Dr. Phil to play right away, because he plays bangers, and I really appreciate when he plays a banger. That's totally cool. This is future. It could be a week. It could be a month from now. Hopefully, he'll leave it in the archives and play this, in my opinion, an awesome banger. It's a cover tune by Guns N' Roses. It's called Hair of the Dog. I don't think City ever played that song. So, maybe a few weeks down the road, because, I don't want to get greedy. It's not all about me, so I totally get that. All right, cats. Have a good one.
What did you told me something yesterday. It's not all about you. You said something to me.
I did?
Yeah.
Joe says that to you almost every day.
I know,
don't remember.
but I can understand where he's coming from.
Oh, it was something, yeah, somebody had an issue with something and you made it about yourself is what I said.
Yeah.
But Vinny, listen, we have for sure played that version of that song before, but we can play that for today's banger.
No, we have a today's banger.
Oh, we do?
Yeah, we have one that we promised from yesterday
okay,
for
then
Brendan.
We'll chuck it on the pile then, but we'll definitely get to that one.
As
That's
he
good.
said, the archives.
Yeah, right. With his passive-aggressive comments. And by the way, I don't sit here and summarily decide which request we're going to play.
No.
Joe and Kirby are in on this, too, and we get a lot of them for the banger, and we do try to play them all.
Looks like we're going to make a trip down to the 59er here. Everybody's commenting
Yeah.
on Kirby. Yes, they have the restaurant, gas station. You've been down there before.
Oh, yeah. I've heard about it.
Yes,
for sure.
it's on Highway 59.
By Birds Hill.
Yes.
Yes,
on the
I
way
know.
to South Beach Casino.
What should Kirby wear when she's at the 59er? I think that was the question, basically. Should she bring a change of clothes?
Well, we're going to
Well,
go.
it depends if I'm arriving on a skidoo.
We're going to go there, and then we're going to go to South Beach. We have to.
Yeah.
It's right there.
Okay, let's wrap up with Lisa, and she had mused a while ago about her piano being broken. Anyway, she loves to sing.
Hi, guys. No, it's 0 outside. Anyways, how's it going? And then there's going to be flurries.
Oh. Sounded
I
like
should
some
work
flurries.
at the Weather Network. And don't take Trans-Canada Highway. Have a nice day.
She's, you said, Kirby, earlier this morning, more of a keyboard
It
than
sounds
a piano.
like a keyboard, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It was like kind of.
And she's auditioning.
You know what? No, I think it
for the
sounds
Weather
more like
Network.
a piano, Curbs, because a keyboard would have more of a synthesized kind of sound to it. You know.
Wait, let's try this. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to scare you guys. Okay, let's.
You see? It's like a little thing. You could be right. It's been a while since I've hit a key, but that sounded like an old style little piano kind of.
Yeah.
Anyway, great weather report. I'll give you a full update on Lisa's.
Yeah, Lisa, we got some weather coming. So if you want to keep us up to date over the next couple of days.
Love an instrumental on that piano.
Philly Joe Kirby.
Philly Joe and Kirby
Podcast.
The Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
My older brother used to put that on the album when my folks were out and just cranking, and it scared me. Like that ending part.
You said that off air, and I can't stop laughing about that.
I don't know what it was. It used to scare me a little bit.
I thought you guys as brothers would be singing Opry, Opry instead of Kilroy at the end.
Oh my God. I could see it though. I could see it if you were a young little, guy that would be a little bit scary to hear.
It's an intense song. It really is. Styx, Mr. Roboto, and the reason we're playing the song, actually got a text message. Hey, is that Lisa piano part going to be uploaded onto the PJK podcast? Would love to download that audio and write a rock and roll daily banger featuring Lisa. You're damn right that's going to be on the podcast.
Yeah, it's very limited spot too, right? It's like one of those YouTube shorts. It would be like just a few seconds that are out there. But amazing, because Lisa will now be able to say that's in her archives when they find the lost tapes of Lisa.
That's not bad, the lost tapes. That's what her show. You're a 92.1 City should be called.
Yeah. She could steal the line from Styx. If you remember, the album was called Kilroy Was Here. You could go with Lisa Was Here.
Somebody brings up a great point, though. What were they on when they wrote that?
Yeah, there's a lot happening. There's a lot happening in that song.
There is a lot going on in that song.
It was a whole different deal for Styx. It was quite the different sound. I think it was probably the start of the end with Dennis DeYoung as their lead vocalist before Canadian Lawrence Gowan took over, right?
Yep.
So, yeah, because that song was sort of, whoa. Like, there's a dark side to this song.
Yeah.
Look what it did to young Phil Aubrey.
Oh,
Man's
man.
never recovered.
Terrifying.
Therapy.
Nightmares.
Therapy.
For more Philly Joe and Kirby, lock it into 92.1 City weekday mornings 6 to 10.